How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Training Camp Podcast. We got a bunch on the slate for today, but I'm sure one of the biggest questions that we have is a lot of the time when I'm talking about the Cowboys, I kind of look towards the camera and I start talking to a kid named Nick. Now, unfortunately, he's on the show today. So, Nick, welcome. Thanks for coming out to the show today.
Thanks for having me.
So, Nick and I, we've known each other for about two and a half years, three years. Mostly through fantasy football. We actually only met in person like a year ago, so that's kind of cool. But we developed a relationship over fantasy football. Huge Cowboys fan. He's even wearing the Cowboys stuff.
I had to rep.
Of course, man. You got to rep. So, I've been doing this past couple days. It's Halloween themed, obviously. So, I got you some trick-or-treat stuff right there.
Okay.
So... will you bring out the candy real quick just so I can show that? So he has a black bucket full of candy. The black is to represent the black hole that is the Dallas Cowboys organization right now, and the skull is to represent the bones that have broken within your organization. As in Dak Prescott.
How long did it take you to come up with that?
Not long at all. I was literally buying the candy and I saw the skull and I was like, oh, that's great.
Okay.
So speaking of the Cowboys, this is gonna be our first segment of the day, especially since you're a Cowboys fan and they are kind of a hot topic right now. Because when you have a show, you kind of have to talk about the Cowboys. Nick gives me shit about this all the time, but hey. Yeah, it's a clickbait topic. Who cares?
Right.
You're watching
America's
it right now.
Baby, America's team.
Okay, so one of the biggest questions that I have right now is, are the Cowboys in a rebuild? Do you think that they're in a rebuild?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, every year, teams are going to have top players going and coming. And if you look at our offense, obviously we're a high-powered offense. Before Dak broke his ankle, we were the third in the league overall.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, our offensive line is completely just crushed.
Okay.
Other than that, our receivers are young. Amari Cooper is 20. He's still
24.
20. Yeah, he's still super young. Our offensive line, Tyron Smith has been in the league a long time, and he's been getting hurt nonstop year after year.
Yeah.
So, offensive line-wise, yeah, but what team doesn't have to rebuild at some position every single year, right?
So, you were talking all about the offense, though.
Yeah.
Are we not going to talk about the elephant?
We can talk about the defense. The defense for the Cowboys has not been good for a long time.
Yeah.
Last year we were, I think, ranked 11th or 13th.
Oh,
it was one of those two. It wasn't bad.
Cool. Yeah, and now you're 32nd in literally every category.
It's bad.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's really bad.
So I agree with you, but I also disagree with you. I don't think they're in a rebuild, but I do think that they are in a rebuild because they're in such a horrible division that they could go 6-10, make the playoffs, and still get a top 12 draft pick. That's literally what could happen for the Cowboys this year. And that's exactly what I think is going to happen. After watching the Eagles last night, the fact that the Giants almost won that game, Evan Ingram doesn't drop that pass and the Giants take that game, and that puts the Giants ahead in your guys' division. So, you guys are going to go 6-10. You guys are going to make the playoffs, and you guys are going to have a high draft pick. And I think that's the best case scenario for you guys because you guys can develop your young players and establish some kind of scheme.
Making the playoffs, doesn't that bump you up automatically into a higher?
I think the way the draft order is just by record.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. What do you mean by rebuild? Because rebuild means new code, wiping everything, right?
Are you gonna look me down in the eyes and say you're gonna stick with McCaffrey for another year, or with McCarthy for another year?
What?
Are you gonna look me in the eyes and tell me you're gonna stick with him?
I don't like Mike Nolan. Defense coordinator is bad. I'll tell you that. But Mike McCarthy, before he started coaching the Cowboys, had the third highest all-time coaching record.
And who is his quarterback?
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, cool. And how's Aaron Rodgers been doing without Mike McCarthy?
Aaron Rodgers doesn't get along with anyone.
What? Are you joking?
He doesn't even talk to his family.
Okay, that's completely the personal issues out of it. But I don't know if you watch interviews, but he's legit one of the chillest dudes. And he's addressed the fact, this is an Aaron Rodgers segment, but the point is, Mike McCarthy was only hired by Jerry Jones to do one thing, and that's to be a sub-in for Garrett, because literally it's the exact same team as last year coaching-wise. The only difference is they're being a little more quote-unquote riskier, in week one when they went for it instead of kicking the field goal. But this is Jerry Jones' team.
I'm not going to lie to you. I forgot why I hated Garrett.
And why is that?
Because McCarthy, this whole coaching, you can't blame it on McCarthy because, we don't know what goes on the inside.
That's true. Garrett
was a lot more vocal than I always saw quotes from Garrett on Twitter a lot more than I see from McCarthy.
Okay.
I feel he addressed the media a lot more. At least that's what it seems. But I want to see a percentage of what first year coaches actually go and do well.
Well, the Green Bay's coach last year won 13-3, and it was his first
They were
year.
the worst 13-3 team of all time.
Almost made it to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to disagree with you that they were the worst 13-3 team of all time, but they still almost made it to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. So.
Fair enough. Yeah, Matt LaFleur, or whatever his name is, he's a good coach.
Yeah.
But I still want to see those stats because you got to give. I hate those teams that will hire a coach and then fire him the exact year after. I think you have to give him 2-3 years.
Okay, I will agree with you that you definitely can't. I think it's kind of like drafting a quarterback. You cannot give up on them after the first year.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. But I think with Mike McCarthy, I think you can only give him 1 year at most. Because if
he wins. He's won football.
He wins. Have you seen your record this year?
He's before he was a Cowboys coach. And look, I don't think any coach besides probably the Lions head coach should be fired this year because COVID has screwed everything up.
Wait, hold up. So, I guess Dan Quinn's been fired. You don't think... Hold up. Wait. You jumped straight to the Lions. You don't think Adam Gase should be fired?
Oh, okay. I forgot about him. He's back. Look, Robbie Anderson, all these players that were coached under him and then went somewhere else are like...
Okay, well, how about this? Mike, let's say these two guys express interest for coaching for Dallas, but you have to cut McCarthy to sign these guys. Would you take Urban Meyer over McCarthy?
No.
Would you take Lincoln Riley over McCarthy?
More yes, but probably still no because historically, college coaches cannot who like try to transition and coach in the NFL, they don't do very well.
But those are primarily defensive coaches.
I know, but we're an offensive team.
But like you look at Matt Rule, who's an offensive coach, he's been having a great season so far. Cliff Kingsbury, who is kind of in the same situation that we are with McCarthy, they got to give him time to grow. Like last year, he did struggle, but they're 4-2 right now, and they just embarrass your Dallas Cowboys defense.
But like they,
well,
we can talk. We're talking about the Cardinals later.
We'll talk about the Cardinals later.
I don't think they're that good.
Okay, but like because. This is why I would take Urban and Lincoln is because they are great with quarterbacks. And I think, especially if you guys re-sign Dak, which I genuinely have no idea what's going to happen with the Dak situation.
I don't either because it's all about what's in his head. The ball's in his hands at this point because obviously we can tag him. But like...
Well, that'd be hard for your guys' franchise because the tag will go up to $41 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'll
at that point, just sign him. At that point, just sign him.
Honestly, I agree with you. I wanted to sign him before... all these other quarterbacks got mega deals that raised the bar to $40 million.
I'll say Jared Goff kind of screwed over the whole Dak situation when he got 35.
I
think Jared Goff's a good quarterback, but I don't think he's worth $35 million.
I think he's a fraud.
He's on a winning team. Just gonna say
that
right now.
I mean,
I guess they have a great head coach.
McVay is just a genius.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Oh, you want to talk about first year head coaches? McVay went 9-7 his first year, and second season went to the Super Bowl.
Well, how many points did he score in that Super Bowl?
How many points has McCarthy allowed this season?
No, that's Mike Nolan. That's Mike Nolan.
All right.
That's all Mike Nolan.
I don't know, man. I mean, it was funny because we were just talking about Dak for a quick second, and I genuinely don't know what's gonna happen because I mean, yeah, they can franchise him, but. I genuinely... Okay, this is really weird. JP just randomly texted me, fuck it. I don't know where that came from. He just literally out of the blue texted me the word fuck it. He said Jamal Williams season. Apparently Aaron Jones might not play. So.
Oh, he hurt his... he had a calf strain in practice.
Oh, okay.
He'll be a game time decision.
Green Bay plays Houston. Oh, they'll be fine.
Yeah,
okay,
no,
cool.
I think he's still going to play because he says he really wants to play through it. So.
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, you have two great backups, AJ Dillon and Williams. Anyway,
yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with Dak. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he did walk. The only reason I think Dak doesn't walk is because he's just not going to get the value from other teams he's going to get from the Cowboys. I mean, I agree that for the Cowboys, Dak is worth $35-37 million, but outside of the Cowboys, no team's going to pay him that much.
You don't think so?
The Jets might. And that's it. Because the Jets are a train wreck of an organization.
You don't think Dak is a top quarterback in this league? Dude.
I think on the Cowboys, he is a top quarterback because he has to do everything for them. I think he's one of the few parts of that organization that doesn't necessarily have to do everything Jerry Jones says. Like he literally is the only reason you guys were winning games this year.
Oh, 100%.
Right.
Well,
and I think the Andy Dalton scenario has really showed that they need Dak.
We could talk about the Cowboys' injuries. We've lost everyone on our offensive line, literally everyone. We're on our third string left tackle. We're on our third string center because Travis Frederick retired and then Looney got hurt. Our only starting lineman that we have left is Connor Williams, who's a third year. Well, and he's coming off an ACL tear, and he's not that good.
And I think that all these injuries to the offensive line was a blessing if Dak would have been healthy, because then he could have shown. That's one of my biggest criticisms of Dak is he was literally handed the nicest team to win with. Zeke, great wide receiver core, and one of the best offensive lines consistently. And literally, I mean, you guys got two injury? You guys got an injury in the Cowboys game. That's when who went out? Martin.
This last game?
Yeah.
Zach Martin.
Zach Martin went out that game.
One of the highest grade.
Yeah, one of the best right guards in the league. And then I think the game before, you guys lost Tyron Smith, right, against the Giants.
Yeah.
So it was the same game that Dak got injured. So we didn't really get to see Dak, with a worse offensive line, I think that would have really helped out his case. Just real quick before our next segment, I'm going to give you some quarterbacks that you would, if you would or wouldn't take them over Dak.
Okay.
Mahomes.
Obviously.
Lamar.
Obviously.
Russell.
Obviously.
See, Lamar, even I kind of breathed about too. That's a difficult scenario.
Lamar hasn't.
He's not a throwing quarterback.
A big game.
We'll talk about him later.
Okay. All right.
Drew Brees.
No, because of his age.
Okay. Tom Brady.
Give me Dak.
Yeah, I agree, just because of mobility.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Give me Aaron Rodgers.
Deshaun Watson.
See, that's where I go back and forth, but give me Deshaun.
I think if you put Deshaun on that team, they win way more games. Matthew Stafford.
I think Matthew Stafford is one of the most underrated quarterbacks of all time.
Okay.
But I still would take Dak.
Last one, Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, give me Dak.
Okay.
I can tell you why if you want, but
why?
Dak can. His progression that he's had, he's only in his fourth year, or fourth year. Because
he is fifth year.
He was drafted in 2016, but yeah. I don't know. He can run the ball. He's built like a tank. Like his injury that happened wasn't just like a injury-prone thing. Like his ankle literally got snapped.
Yeah, he got fell on. Yeah, I think the Tannehill situation is really interesting because he got a bag this year.
Yeah.
I think this Steelers game is really going to show if he's the real deal or not because they haven't played like great teams this year so far. I mean, Houston's a good.
I don't think
team.
He's a top quarterback.
I think this week will show it against.
But he's what the Titans needed. So
yeah.
He does the job. He does what he needs to do.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of quarterbacks, Tua Tagovailoa was named the starter in Miami.
Yeah.
They're on a bye week this week, so obviously it's not going to have any impact. We're not going to see it this week, but he has to play the Rams in his first ever start. Do you think it was too soon for them to name Tua the starter?
I mean, it depends what they think they want out of this year, right? If they have actual winning hopes for this year, they're sitting at 3-3, right?
Yeah.
3-3. They're second in their division.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots aren't playing good football.
They are not playing good football
at all. And the Bills have fallen off big time, even though they've played big teams.
Right, yeah, that's the thing. They've been playing the better teams, but they still probably win that division. But
Definitely.
I think you're right. I mean, a lot of people, there was really early success with the Patriots, so people were high on the Patriots. But now you're starting to see that they have their flaws.
Yeah.
And it's funny because Bill Belichick usually struggles in September and then gets better in the later months, and it's the opposite right now. He seemed to do great in September. Now it's starting to get worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you said, they're 3-3. Fitzpatrick is doing a great job. He's doing a great job mentoring. I thought about this early yesterday. I think this is why. They had the 5th pick, and the Chargers had the 6th pick. So the Miami chose between Herbert, and that was a real discussion, was if they were going to take Tua or if they were going to take Herbert.
Well, and I think the only reason it was discussion because of the injury.
Yes, 100%. If Tua didn't have injury proneness, then Tua probably would have been starting earlier in the season.
100%.
But I think they've been seeing the success that Herbert's been having. I mean, Joe Burrow, everyone kind of expected he was going to play no matter what. If he had success, that's great. He was the number 1 pick for a reason. But the Justin Herbert situation was like, he's probably not going to play until later in the season because of Tyrod.
Chargers got mocked for that pick.
Exactly. And then he got thrown in, and Herbert's been
He's been fantastic.
When I started talking about him the week that he started, he was, I think, like plus 2,400, and then now he's plus 100 to win Rookie of the Year. Like, he's had a huge, and I think that the Dolphins saw that and they were like, oh shit, if we don't have a real quarterback, like this next draft class is loaded. There's 3 really, really good quarterbacks, 4 if you count Mac Jones. I don't know if you follow college, but
not as much as I should.
Yeah, and so there's a possible 4 great quarterbacks in this next draft class, and they have that Houston pick. And if Houston continues on the road they are, that's going to be a top draft pick. And so I think that they kind of are like, okay, maybe if we don't have anything with Tua, maybe we just take a quarterback. I still think it's too soon, though. I mean, it's week 7.
Well, here's the thing. You mentioned they had the bye. If they're going to put him at any time, do you want to give him 2 weeks of prep or do you want to give him a week of prep?
I want to give him 2 weeks, but I don't want to. I think that's a great point because a bye week you get primary focus on like this is your rookie quarterback. You're going to work that entire week on building a scheme around him. So that's a great timing to do it. But I think it's horrible timing when you have to face the Rams next week.
I mean, throw him into the fire, right? Get him.
I think that's why they saw Herbert take on the Chiefs and with no time or whatsoever idea that he was going to start, and he was successful. So I think they're like, maybe he can be like Tua or he can be like Herbert
with the extra playoff team this year, right? Mm-hmm. There's an extra playoff spot. I mean, Fitzpatrick was winning. He had 7 interceptions, 10 touchdowns. He turns the ball over a lot.
You know something wild? Since he was named the starter last season, he's been like the quarterback 6 in fantasy football up until now.
Oh, I don't know why I dropped him. I think I had some bye weeks and I had to drop him.
I think so. Bye week and then the Rams. I think what they should have done is they see how Fitzpatrick does against the Rams. I think that should have been Fitzpatrick's test. Because, I mean, like, they played the Niners, but the Niners' front set isn't the same as it used to be. They played the Jets. They played the Seahawks. The Seahawks are a horrible defense. They played the Jaguars. They played the Patriots. They played the Bills. The Bills are the only team that's, like, a good defense. And so I think this should have been the test for Fitzpatrick. If Fitzpatrick doesn't do good, because that's something that Fitzpatrick tends to do, is he kind of has these great stretches and then he falls off.
Yeah.
Because then the next 3 games, Cardinals, Chargers, Broncos.
Yep.
I think that they should have seen, okay, we're going to possibly start getting Tua ready to be a starter the week of the Rams game. Let Fitzpatrick start. Okay, cool. You started focusing on Tua. Let's throw him in against the Cardinals. Like, the Cardinals have a good defense, but it's not their pass rush. It's more to their secondary. We saw that last week against.
Well, I mean, they lost Chandler Jones too. So.
I forgot about that.
They lost the leader of their defense.
Yeah.
I don't know. It all depends what they're trying to do this season, right? That's how I look at it. We don't really know what's going on internally, but like you were saying, they haven't beat any good teams.
Yeah.
Unless you consider the Niners a good team, but Jimmy G was just coming off an ankle injury, and he played. I mean, he got benched that game.
Yeah.
He's not playing good.
Well, they haven't beat good teams. I'm looking at the rest of their schedule. They don't play very many good teams, like Cardinals, Chargers, Broncos, Jets, Bengals, Chiefs. They're obviously going to lose. Patriots can be a toss-up, and then Raiders, Bills. They can win half of those games and still make the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think
extra spot.
They're in a really interesting situation because, like, they probably did not enter the season expecting to be this good. I mean, if entering week 7, you told them they're going to be 3-3, they probably would have traded back that draft pick and because they know that they had the Houston pick. But I don't know. I think they're in kind of a similar situation with as Dallas, where it's like you can use this entire season to, okay, cool, if you make the playoffs, make the playoffs. This should be a season to build up your younger players, especially building up chemistry because they got so many players in free agency this year. I'm really interested to see how Miami's going to do next year.
Well, their defense is really good.
Oh my, it's stepped up.
I mean, they got Byron Jones from Dallas, and
they got what's his name from New England, Kyle Van Noy.
Yeah.
Who's
my goodness.
Great linebacker. And then if Tua does, this is another thing I haven't even thought about. If Tua pans out, like if he shows off in this next half of the season, like again, they're gonna have that Houston pick. They could use that on more defensive pieces. Like their O-line's been doing great. It looks like they don't really have a franchise player, but they have a great running back in Gaskin.
Who saw him? Like we thought it was gonna be Howard Breida. I didn't even know Gaskin was a dude.
I was trying to convince Austin it was gonna be Howard.
That's pretty funny. If it wasn't for me being in that room, he probably would have accepted.
Oh damn. But yeah, no, it's crazy, and like I know he had a bad game last week, but Gesicki's looking like a good tight end. Like he just
doesn't get targeted.
Yeah, and Devontae Parker's a great wide receiver. Preston
Williams is good too.
Great wide receiver too. So you know what, they're in a great situation, especially if Tua's good. And you know what, I don't think that it wouldn't surprise me if they traded Ryan Fitzpatrick after a couple of weeks because I mean the trade deadline's coming up November 3rd. So I mean if Tua shows out, they might trade him, but I think you hold on to him for at least a season or two, just a mentor.
Yeah, the mentor part. Like there's not going to be a better mentor in the league, honestly. He's been everywhere. He's seen everything. I think, I mean, I don't know how much cap space they have for next year, but I mean, Miami's got to be a hot spot. Everyone loves to play in warm weather.
Yeah,
so you got to think about that too. Like, if they could potentially land some big players for next year, but I like watching Miami play football. I don't know if it's because I have their tight end and their running back on my fantasy team, but in both leagues, but I enjoy watching Miami play football.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, who are the biggest names in next year's free agency? I know Bud Dupree, obviously Dak.
Leave Dak out of it. He's staying in Dallas.
If Tua's not good, do you throw some money at Dak?
He's not going to be some money. Dak has proven that he's a $40 million a year
for the Cowboys.
I think other teams too. Look, if you look what he's done, like he's won like top 5 most games since he's came into the league. I mean, he's got a playoff win under his belt.
He was drafted by the Cowboys. Looking at the Dolphins' salary cap, they have $17.5 million going into next season, so they don't really have that much. The season after, though, they have $88 million.
Okay.
So I mean,
they spent a lot of money this year.
The biggest contract was the Byron Jones, who they gave 28 total million to, and then Kyle Van Noy they signed for $13 million, and they signed Xavier Howard too. I forgot about that.
Yeah, they made moves this year. I think they paid to win this year, and it still might not happen. But
yeah, they signed him to 4-year contracts, though, so I'm sure they'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Coming up in the next segment, we got another game. Nick has no idea what it is, kind of like last week. They didn't know what the game was going to be, and then we're going to talk about the Cardinals as well.
You can tell me about this.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Welcome back to Training Camp Podcast. If you guys did miss it, last segment we talked about the Cowboys, what their situation is right now, whether they should rebuild or revamp, and we also talked about the Tua decision to make him the starter. This we got Nick on the couch, of course. So what's going on, dude? Surprise game for Nick. I literally on my briefings I just put like game or something like I don't even know what I put. But I'm just like just know what's going on right now in the NFL. So it's fall.
Yeah.
It's fall. The leaves are changing.
They are. University of Utah. It's a beautiful place.
Gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
It's getting colder. So one thing that I kind of like, I say to myself when I get up in the morning, I'm like, what's the temperature? Like how hot's it going to be today? What's the temperature going to be today? So we're going to be playing a game called What's the Temperature? Now, how's this going to work? Well, Antonio Brown.
Oh, jeez.
There are rumors that he's making his comeback. So I'm gonna give Nick 7 teams. He's going to give me the temperature. Freezing cold, 25 degrees. Blazing hot, 100 degrees. Pretty simple. I'll give mine as well. So, first team. This has been the most talked about team. You got Seattle.
Yeah.
I'm 25 degrees. This is freezing cold. I don't understand this at all. They have a great system in place. They have a great wide receiver core. You don't need to upgrade your offense. You should be upgrading your defense. The only reason I can see Seattle doing this is to just trade him for a secondary piece. I'm freezing cold. I don't think this should happen.
Okay.
Your thoughts?
I mean, why not? He's proven that he's a top receiver, probably of all time. Like
So are you like 100 or are you like 50?
I'm for it. I mean, I'm not. I hate it only because they're an NFC team. Thankfully, Dallas already played them. Not that Dallas has any hope, anyways. Honestly, I mean, it's a disaster. But he's good. He's been in like mental health like classes and stuff.
That's true.
He's taking tests to show he's not insane. It all depends. I mean, at least work him out, right? At least work him out and see if his personality is like changed from what it was a year ago.
So then what happens to DK and Tyler?
Through triple threat, baby. CD.
There's so many mouths to feed.
That doesn't matter. I mean,
okay, if they sign him, this is what I think they should do. If they do sign Antonio Brown, I think this is something I kind of think would be really cool. They should just move DK to tight end.
what is with you boys thinking receivers can be tight ends?
He's huge.
He is huge, but it's just a different
He was
position.
a great pass blocker too. He's like one of the best pass blocking wide receivers because of his strength.
But he's just so good at receiver. Why not have a triple threat? Tyler and Metcalf don't seem like guys who are going to complain if they don't get touches.
That's true.
Antonio, maybe, but worst comes to worst, you sign him to a contract with saying, like, hey, like, we're not going to take any of your cap. If you put anything up with us, we're going to just cut you.
That's fair.
So, I mean, I'm for it. Why not, right? If you're trying to win a Super Bowl, it's really hard to do. He's really good.
All right, next team, Baltimore. I'm warmer, but I'm not hot. I'm 50 degrees. This is a cool fall day for me. It makes sense, but the reason I'm hesitant about it is Lamar's just not throwing the ball.
Yeah.
He's averaging like 160 yards per game right now. Like, he's legit a running back. And I'm not trying to go off that meme. He's literally running more than he's passing.
I agree, and that's why I hesitated putting him over Dak. Because
he's not a quarterback.
He's not a quarterback.
They literally they don't play shotgun. They play wildcat. That's
Yeah.
what they do. I mean, he has. Lamar's proven he can throw the ball, but he doesn't do it.
It's
like,
wild.
And I mean, you have Marquise Brown. You have Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, they're literally just using how they should, just as like a goal line tight end.
Yeah, no, he's a red zone threat for sure.
Yeah.
Marquise Brown, I don't know if he's that good.
I think Marquise Brown is good. I just don't think Lamar throws the ball enough for us to see how good Marquise Brown is.
Maybe if Antonio Brown gets there, then he'll be more comfortable. I'm for it. I mean, I'm not against any team signing him, honestly.
Okay.
I think he's so good. Like, why would you not want him
Well,
on your team?
and I guess what we're doing now is we're not just talking like where he most likely goes. I'm just thinking his best fits. That's
Okay.
why I'm like Seattle's lower for me because it's not really a good fit.
Fit-wise.
Fit wise.
Okay.
Same with Baltimore. Just fit.
I think
really...
Baltimore is a better fit than Seattle.
Oh yeah, 100%. Now this next team no one's talking about.
Okay.
But this is journalism. I'm a journalist, so I do my research.
Let's hear it.
Chicago.
Why not?
Exactly. I mean, again, it's not blazing hot, 65 degrees. It's the spring weather.
Oh, he would be a very Nick Foles friendly receiver.
And you have Allen Robinson on the other side.
It would open him up even more. And he's
Jimmy
already,
Graham, you taking the defenders away from him because they're focusing on AB.
He's reemerged as a not a top tight end.
But he's like really a competent tight end. Yeah. I think that's a good team.
I think the Bears are probably a better fit than the Seahawks and the Ravens thus far.
Okay, cool. We're gonna take it a step up.
Okay.
Tennessee. Now for me, again, it's not my favorite position, but I'm going 70 degrees on that. Like, that's a good spot. You're with it. He's with his. I think isn't AJ Brown also his cousin, or is it just Marquise Brown's his cousin? I don't know if they're related, but you're putting with
cousins?
Marquise Brown and Antonio Brown are.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can't remember if AJ Brown and Antonio Brown are
related. I didn't know that.
But like you're putting AJ Brown on the other side as well. AJ Brown's a speed guy. That's the thing about AB. He's not a speed guy. He's a route running guy. And so, oh God, I don't want to talk about this after our conversation that we had in our fantasy group chat. We're just going to move past this. So you're putting A.J. Brown on the other side. You have Jonnu Smith, and you have Derrick Henry. And if Tannehill really is this good quarterback, Tannehill can get out of the pocket, buy you some time. 8B would be good.
Yeah, they don't really have a true number 2 receiver. I mean, Adam Humphries is good.
He's more of a slot guy, though. He's not really number 2.
Yeah, yes. I mean,
I guess they have Corey Davis, but
what's he done?
Nothing. That's why it kind of
I still put him. I'll put the Titans a better fit above Seattle and the Ravens, but I still think Chicago's the best fit that you've mentioned thus far.
Okay. Green Bay, 75 degrees.
No.
The only reason I'm high on that is because Devontae gets hurt.
He does, but I just feel like Aaron Rodgers, we talked about this, his personality, I feel like he's not going to take anything from Antonio Brown.
Okay, but let's be real. If they go on a winning streak, you really think Aaron Rodgers is going to be petty towards Antonio Brown?
No, but what happens if they go on a losing streak?
Okay,
I don't.
You really got me there. You got me there.
Because I don't know. I don't feel like Green Bay's that. They just got exposed big time.
I will say they had it. That's the thing I've been saying about a lot of the undefeated teams on the show. Just kind of talking with people like even Pittsburgh and Tennessee included, and Seattle. Most of these undefeated teams haven't played great teams lately. The only team that I can really think of playing a great team was Baltimore when they were undefeated, and then they played the Chiefs. But now obviously they lost that game, and then the Chiefs. They lost the Raiders. I'm still kind of hesitant on the Raiders, but it's a division game. It's going to happen. Yeah. But so I think week 8 is when you find out what teams are because you have a big enough sample size. I still don't know what Pittsburgh, Tennessee, Seattle, the last three undefeated teams are. I still don't know what they are.
They're good.
They're good, yes, but I'm saying I don't know if they are better. Even though Pittsburgh has a better record, I don't know if they're actually better than Baltimore, if they're actually better than the Chiefs, if they're better than Tennessee.
I don't think they're better than the Chiefs. I think Pittsburgh is legit, though. I think they're on. I mean, you're a Pittsburgh fan.
I don't know, man. I'm hesitant with this team sometimes.
Really?
Oh, dude, I would love to say this team could go.
You just lost your defensive leader, but
yeah, Devin Bush.
I don't know. I think
there's rumors that Pittsburgh might trade for Deion Jones from Atlanta because Atlanta's selling. I would love that. That's a 4-year contract, and we could trade that if he doesn't work out. We just need a 1-year rental. I would love that.
You love trading for defensive players. So.
Who else would we trade for? Oh, Minka. Yeah, Minka. What a guy. Love me some Minka. All right. Next team, San Francisco.
No.
I have them hotter. 80 degrees. No.
They got Ayuk, Deebo Samuel. They got Kendrick Bourne.
You did not just say that Kendrick Bourne, Ayuk, and Deebo Samuel are number 1 receivers.
I didn't say they're number receivers. I'm just saying they have a lot of threats.
Exactly. So if you put Deebo Samuel as number 2 and AB as number 1, and Jimmy Garoppolo has shown he's not the quarterback that he never was a good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback.
I agree with you.
He's so overrated.
He's a system quarterback just like Tom Brady.
He's so overrated.
Except Tom Brady, actually, I've gained a lot of respect for him this year.
Yeah.
He's played really well.
I just think, again, AB opens up that game, especially if they get Mostert back, which who knows if that'll happen because the man runs for 1 yard and then loses his legs. So that's literally, who knows.
JP tried to trade him to me.
Why? Why?
Why, JP?
Literally, why? But yeah, no, I think San Francisco's a great place.
I don't know.
It's not my favorite though.
It could help, but Jimmy G's not even going to be able to get the ball to AB.
Well, and here's the thing. They're in such a hard division. If it was possible, all 4 of those teams could make the playoffs. I mean, in my eyes, I think the NFL should do what the NBA does and do a conference seeding, not division seeding. Because, your guys' division, I'm sorry.
We don't deserve it.
None of you deserve to make it into the playoffs. And so all 4 of those teams in the NFC West or 3 teams in the AFC North could make it in because they're good enough.
Only reason I disagree is because it makes it more fun. In the NBA, there's divisions, but we don't know what they are because it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I love division games in the NFL just because they're more intense and more fun. And
I agree with that. Yeah, that's definitely true.
It just makes it more fun. But
okay, this is my favorite team. This is my favorite team that I think should sign Antonio Brown because we saw this in my do or die segment. They were a do. I think Houston is the best position for Antonio Brown.
Oh, I agree. Honestly, I agree because Will Fuller's the deep threat, but he's not like anything else.
He was great when he had D-Hop on the other side.
And they have Brandon Cooks, but everyone knows he's going to get another concussion and get out.
Well, but that's the thing. If you put him in the slot, he's less likely to get hurt.
Yeah.
And he can operate really well in the slot for how fast he is. Deshaun Watson obviously was better with D-Hop. I'm not going to say that D-Hop made Deshaun Watson.
What were they doing?
Bill O'Brien, and so that's the thing. They don't have a first-round pick this year. I don't think they have a second-round pick this year either. So they have to do good this season.
Then.
And I'm not going to lie. Tennessee's going to make the playoffs. It's just going to happen. Yeah. But you know who we don't know? The Colts. Their defense is stellar, but their offense, I don't know what that offense is.
It's all up to Phillip Rivers if he wants to throw 14 interceptions in a game or not.
Exactly, and everyone thought he'd be so much better behind that Colts O-line, and
he hasn't been terrible.
No, but he hasn't been like what we were expecting.
Yeah, no.
I mean, when you go down 21-0 to the Bengals, I know you still won the game, but you still. I don't know. I think Houston's the best position for him. I have him 95 degrees.
I like
I'm
that
hot on
fit.
that. I think it's great. And especially, you know what? You have a great deep threat, so you can open up the running game too. And Deshaun can extend the play.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that fit so much.
I don't know. Why isn't Houston good this year?
O-line issues. Bill O'Brien coached the first 4 games. D-Hop plays for the Cardinals.
Yeah, but they still are just a really good team, I feel like, on paper.
Yeah, you know what's funny? If D-Hop hadn't been traded, I think they would have been able to trade for Le'Veon Bell.
Why would trade who for Le'Veon
Well, no,
Bell?
not trade, but like because obviously the issues were still going to happen in New York this year. So I think they would have offered like a 7th rounder, or honestly, they probably could have been a great destination for Le'Veon to sign. You got to be honest. Le'Veon, Deshaun, and D-Hop would be a great 3-headed beast.
Is Le'Veon still good?
Everyone that leaves the Jets is good. You just said this.
I know, but it's like he took a year off, he bet on himself, and he lost that bet.
I will say leaving Pittsburgh is probably a really bad idea. Great offensive line, great offensive system. It was built around him, but I don't know. I'm really curious how it's going to work in. I think he definitely is kind of ring chasing right now. But you know what? You're in the league for this long. You didn't.
Might as well.
Yeah.
He's only like what 28, 29?
28.
Yeah, he's still like pretty young.
Yeah.
But there's no longevity for running backs in the entire league. Running backs don't matter. Don't pay running backs ever.
Or wide receivers, except for like top 3, like the definitive top 3:
Yeah.
quarterbacks, left tackles, defensive tackles, linebackers.
Pay your linemen, pay your quarterbacks, pay your star corner, because like it's hard to get a good cornerback.
Yeah, just secondary in general. Speaking of secondary, there was a great secondary showing last week against the Cowboys.
You're
Buda
right.
Baker. I mean, like I wasn't high on him, but he's looking like an All-Pro.
I wanted to draft him so bad.
He was a 3rd-round pick. He was a 3rd-round pick. You guys could have drafted him. You guys took Taco.
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's a bad look.
Yeah, it is bad. No, we got Taco first round.
Exactly. You took Taco 1st round.
And he's everyone we take is terrible. Then Taco goes to the Chiefs.
Yeah,
and
CD. I'll give
he's
you
playing
CD.
good ball for Kansas City.
I'll give you CD 1st round.
Well, I mean, CD's. I mean, how did he fall to us? Right?
CD.
How the heck did he fall to us?
Do you? There's a conversation right now if the Cardinals are good or if they're like great. And obviously in the first leg you talked about, you're like,
Yeah, I have something on the Cardinals. Maybe. I actually don't know where it went, but Cardinals. I mean, obviously they had a gimme against the Cowboys. That was.
I don't know, man. When I saw that spread, I was like, it wouldn't have surprised me if Dallas beat Arizona because Arizona doesn't have a good front 7.
Dallas could lose their next 4 or 5 games, and people will still have high hopes for them.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, your division.
It's like, it's bad. But that was a different segment. We don't need to talk.
So
about
that's
Dallas
my
anymore.
question. Like, was the Dallas game like showing that they are a real team, or is Dallas just bad enough where you know what you're gonna? Also, just real quick, just while we're on the topic of Dallas, I'm gonna tell you right now, even if Pittsburgh goes undefeated, when we play you guys, I already know Pittsburgh's gonna lose that game because I've been talking so much shit to you in our chat. I already know it's gonna happen. So when that happens, you have proof on camera that I said that Pittsburgh's gonna lose to Dallas.
I don't see it happening.
I
but-
do because Pittsburgh plays down in competition. Anyway,
Really?
yeah, I think the Cardinals are great. I think, especially in that division, you're going to have to play great teams consistently.
Yeah.
And they beat, I mean, I know it's the Niners, but at the time, they were a healthy Niners team. They kicked the crap out of them in week 1. And I love that offensive attack. D-Hop obviously solved a lot of their issues. And if they can get Kenyon Drake operating, then they'll be a great, I don't know. The Jets game is going to show if Kenyon Drake is real.
Well, the Cowboys game showed that he was real, but he's gonna fall. Like
He was
everyone's
real.
gonna like Dearness Johnson for the Browns went off against Cowboys. Everyone drafted him in fantasy.
Yeah.
He hasn't done crap since.
But that's why I'm saying, like, this Jets game, like, this is going to show. Because obviously, they're going to go up early, and they're just going to run the ball to run out the clock. If Kenyon Drake doesn't get, like, 150 rushing yards, then what do you want?
I don't know why Chase Edmonds isn't starting. He's, like, way more explosive. And I'll
wonder
be honest,
if he's hurt. I wonder if Kenyon's hurt, because he was in a boot at the beginning of the season and during their walkthroughs. I wonder if he's still hurt. I wonder if he just played through the
He
injury.
would be talking trash to fantasy doubters on Twitter if that was true.
He's talking trash to fantasy doubters?
I think after week 2, he's like, he posted a picture of himself smiling. He's like, me after I help you win the championship. And then a couple weeks later, he like posted like, don't worry about me. Or
That's a
something
bad
like
look,
that.
Kenyon. That's a bad look.
It was bad. He's garbage. And I drafted him 3rd round.
I don't know what happened. Did you say 3rd round?
I drafted him 3rd round.
How'd you get him in?
Wait, second.
I was going to say, no way you got him in the
Second
3rd.
round. I got him second. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
well,
a
then
great
I
fit.
fleeced JP and I got James Conner for him. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We don't talk about Nick's team because it's literally just like a pile of injuries all the time, and he's like
bad.
literally the most unlucky player in our league.
If I was healthy, I'd be.
I will say, I think you've won that trade between you and me. I was just talking to JP about this. Like, damn it. Like, Kareem Hunt had a 7-point game last week. But, I mean, Stephon Diggs has been producing for me.
Yeah.
Beside the point.
We'll
I
no.
don't know. I think the Cardinals, if they can, like, we saw real potential from them. And, like, let me pull up their schedule real quick.
I'll be honest, I haven't watched a lot of Arizona ball.
Yeah.
I have to sneeze.
Then sneeze.
I can't. It won't come out.
Look at the light. Okay, fine, whatever. Don't sneeze. Okay, so like, look at this. I mean, they have to play the like non-conference teams. They play the Dolphins. I think they're gonna easily win that game, especially if Tua is playing. It's a rookie quarterback.
We just talked about the Dolphins were good.
We did just talk about the Dolphins were good. So actually, I don't know. I don't know.
I still have Arizona winning that game. Kyler Murray is good.
Like, I love Kyler. He completed 9 passes last game and put up 38 points.
He didn't look good. Like his accuracy was bad last.
You
game.
got so lucky. I was so mad about that catch, and so did Max. I was so mad, and also I was about to beat Max, and literally Kyler Murray had Larry Fitzgerald open in the end zone. I was gonna take the lead, and he overthrows him by like 10 stadiums.
Did you lose in both leagues?
Yeah, I was up against yours, and then you lost points because your defense allowed more points. And I was like, okay, cool. I just need a catch from Zeke, and then it didn't happen. Then I was supposed to lose by like 30 to Max, and then I almost beat him anyway. So they play the Dolphins, they play the Bills, the Patriots, the Giants, the Eagles, and then obviously their divisional players. So I mean, honestly,
have they already played Washington? I think so, right?
Yeah, they won 30-15.
Yeah, so I mean, the fact that they play the entire NFC East is like huge.
Cakewalk.
I
mean, yeah, they're gonna go.
That entire division plays the NFC East, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like it kind of even.
So that's 2 guaranteed wins right there. They're probably gonna win 2 more divisional games. That's at least 8 games on the season. I mean, you can 17 playoff. You can make the playoffs.
You really? Yeah. I mean, they're not going to take the division.
No. I'm not saying that they're going to take that
shot.
division. I don't even think the Rams, who I'm pretty high on, I don't think the Rams will take the division. I think that's going to go to Seattle. I just think
100%.
Russell Wilson's on another tear.
MVP.
But I mean, I think they're a wild card team. I think they could even win 1 game in the playoffs. Like, you know what wouldn't surprise me is if they got the 7th seed and they had to play Dallas because Dallas gets the divisional piece and they beat Dallas in the first round and then they lose in the second round. That wouldn't surprise me.
I think Philly's winning our division. But
you think so? How many games do you think
they're in the lead? They're 2-4-1.
No. How many games do you think they win?
I have Dallas going 7-9. Still
debatable.
And
actually, that's pretty fair. I mean, 6-10.
Well, like with our schedule, if we want to go back to them, I think we beat Washington, lose to Philly, lose to Pittsburgh, lose to the Vikings, beat Washington, lose to the Ravens, beat the Bengals, lose to the Niners, beat Philly, beat New York.
Yeah.
7-9.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I've Philly going 5-9 and 1.
Really?
Or 5-11.
Thus far?
5-11 and 1.
Yeah, they just won their second 2-4. They're 2-4-1. Yeah.
I just think that tie is going to screw them over in the long run. You guys can get that big.
Well, I mean, we'll see.
Well, no matter whatever team gets that in NFC East, they're going to play. I think they'll play the Cardinals.
Yeah, no, definitely with the 3 wild cards now. I think Arizona will probably sneak in.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me. I mean, like, it looks like the Bears will probably get one because the Packers are going to make the playoffs. It looks like the Rams might get one, and it looks like the Cardinals might sneak in and get one too. Because I mean, and the only other team I can see maybe contending for that is the Niners.
Do you think the Bears are going to fall? I mean, I feel like Green Bay's going to take that division. Obviously.
Green Bay will take that division. I don't know what to expect from the Bears. I don't know. I don't know what they are.
Yeah,
this reminds me of a couple years ago when they were good with their defense. I don't
know.
Anyway, so we're down to the segment next. The next segment is our wallet winners. So we'll talk about the biggest spreads and biggest odds from the next upcoming week 7, and we'll see you guys in a second. Welcome back to Training Camp Podcast. This is the last leg of segment. As always, we do our wallet winners on the last leg. So, but first, before we get into my wallet winners, I'm just gonna do a quick recap of my season so far. It's not good. Last week really fucked me. Last week I really went 0-5. So because of that, I'm 10-15 on the year. I'm not having a good year. I'm 9-11 on the spreads. That's good. My upsets have been ass. So I've been 1-4 with upsets. So my bad on that, guys. I apologize. 2 weeks ago I went 4-1 though, so I guess it kind of equals out. No, it doesn't equal out at all. Anyway, so not having a good year, but we're gonna hopefully turn that around this week. As always, we do 4 spreads and then a 1 upset. I do have technically 2 upsets, but I don't understand how this one team is favored. Anyway, who is your wallet winner for this week?
I have the Bills beating the Jets by 13.
Yeah. The only reason I didn't bet on that was because it's just like it's such a big number.
It is the only reason I did pick. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about spreads and all that, so I kind of looked up a lot of like bets that people are considering this week.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Allen has had 2 weeks in a row where he's been kind of off.
Yeah, 2 good teams though.
2 good teams, so he has a reason. But I think he's gonna want to come out this week and show off.
Oh yeah, and this
because
is the Jets.
People were talking about him in the MVP conversation, and I don't think he wants to lose that.
Oh,
but
definitely
I saw
not.
that, and I'm like, why not? Why not just go demolish the Jets and really show that Adam Gase shouldn't be in this league anymore?
Yeah, it would not surprise me if they put up like in the first half it was like 24-0, and then they just put in Singletary and Zach Moss to run the game out, and they still put up. The Bills have a good defense, so Darnold's playing this week.
Yeah, but I mean,
doesn't affect anything, but it's the Jets.
Yeah,
but still.
No Le'Veon Bell either.
Yeah.
So.
Oh God, Frank Gore. How is it, dude? What is Frank Gore? Why
He's
is
not good?
I don't get it.
How is he one of the all-time rushers?
How's he in the league? He's
not
30,
good.
like 9. He's like 50.
He's literally. You say he's 50 years old?
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't aged a day.
He looks the exact. He's the Paul Rudd of the NFL. Man looks exactly like how he did when he was drafted. It's wild.
He's the definition of longevity. There's very few running backs. I hate running backs. Don't ever pay him.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson, he's all right now.
Yeah.
He's doing good for Detroit, but like, anyway.
He's doing a really good job mentoring, like DeAndre Swift.
I think DeAndre Swift's gonna be like really good next year.
Great to learn behind Adrian Peterson. Actually, I never thought about that. But yeah, no, I think minus 13 is good. I could definitely see Buffalo winning that by like 20. Okay, while we're on big spreads, there is a spread next week that me and JP were talking about. The Chiefs. Who do the Chiefs play this week? I think so. They play the Jets. The Chiefs are favored to win by 23 points over the Jets, the third biggest spread in NFL history. It's a minus 23.
You clearly don't take it.
No, you clearly take that.
What?
Are you kidding?
I don't know anything about bets.
No, I could totally see the Chiefs winning by 30 points against the Jets.
Really?
They're gonna put up 40 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Mahomes is gonna throw for 8 touchdowns.
That's what we want to think. That's why that's that. Just to get you excited, right?
That's true. I don't know. That's just what I don't really like big spreads because like I usually don't bet anything about 9 or above just because that's so many points.
Yeah.
But the Jets are so god awful this year.
It's
also,
bad.
with the Jets, people are saying that Clemson could beat the Jets. I'm sorry. College and
No
NFL.
college
team could ever. This was a conversation people were having about Miami last year, is that Clemson could beat Miami. And then Miami ended up winning games. It's an NFL team. These are in the NFL for a reason.
All these players came from college.
Exactly.
Half Clemson's players won't go to the NFL. Like
yeah, not even half. Maybe like a fifth of them will even end up going, or
probably not even that.
a tenth of them will start. Like it's no. Stop it. Don't disrespect the Jets that much. They
hate
deserve
that
the disrespect. It's
like
stupid.
years ago when people would say Alabama would beat the Browns, like it's just not a thing.
Yeah, that's bad.
Won't happen.
No.
Never.
All right. So my first pick. I don't know if this is because I'm superstitious, and I picked Pittsburgh to lose last week, and they blew the shit out of the Browns, so that was bad luck. But I also do agree with this. Tennessee, they're expecting Tennessee to win by 1.5. I like that. I think Tennessee can win by a field goal. I think this will be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be in the 30s. I like Derrick Henry a lot. I don't think he's going to run for 160 yards. Actually, after some of these comments, people were saying he might run for 300, honestly.
Did you see the dude on First Take? What's his name?
Yeah, Ryan Clark. Yeah, ex-Steeler.
Yeah.
Why'd you do that, dude?
Like
why? You just put a target on our back.
It's bad.
Yeah.
He's like saying that he can't do it with people his size, but literally when he had a 99-yard touchdown run, he
had to go against the linebackers.
Jaguars,
yeah.
He stiff armed like 250-pound dudes.
I don't know. I think this is definitely going to be a test for both teams. Like, I don't think this is what's going to bother me about this game.
Oh, they're both undefeated.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and this is what bothers me. I don't know why they haven't flexed it to Sunday night. That'd be such a good Sunday night game. But yeah, let's watch the Patriots and the Niners for Sunday night instead of an undefeated team.
It's Austin Frost. He loves Cam Newton. Shout out to you, AB. He wanted me to shout him out at some
Oh,
point.
okay. I can respect that then. Yeah, sad boys at work. He texted me last night. He's like, "What's your address?" I was like, "No. He told me you're not. He told me you were at work."
He wanted to come so bad. Like he just gets so excited about the little things, and he would just tell me he's like, "I'm not coming, but I just want him to think I'm coming."
I'll have you on sometime, Austin. Don't worry. Even if you're not actually on, you're just sitting in the corner laughing about everything.
Once he gives us his top 5 receivers, he can come on.
It's not gonna happen. So he's literally never gonna come on the show then. All right. So I do think Tennessee is gonna end up winning this game though, especially with the blow to the Devin Bush injury. That's a sideline to sideline linebacker. He's super fast. That's great. I know speed isn't everything, but he's also a good.
You
hitter.
don't have good backups.
Spillane.
Who?
Exactly. Like he did a good job against the Browns, but it was also garbage time. The Browns were doing bad already in that point, so I don't know. But yeah, I have Tennessee winning 30-27.
You
Next,
have some faith in your team. That's 2 weeks in a row.
I know, man.
I think y'all are really good. I think you guys are really good.
If we can get that, if James Conner can stay healthy, I agree with you. James Conner can stay healthy, I agree with you. Next Walt winner. This isn't my upset, even though technically they're not favored. Sorry, dude. Dallas, they are favored to win this game against Washington. Washington's entering +1, so they're expecting Dallas to win by a point. Why? Why? Washington has a better defense than the Cardinals, and the Cardinals destroyed the Cowboys offense.
Well,
As a Cowboys fan, do you see you guys winning this game?
I'm always optimistic.
Okay.
Always.
You're optimistic, but are you realistic?
No.
Okay.
Sometimes I try to be.
Okay, realistic.
In every other aspect I am. But with the Cowboys, it's hard to be just because I love this team.
I don't think that the football team almost slipped up there. I don't think the football team has the secondary that the Cardinals have, but I do think they have a way better front seven. And Andy Dalton was under pressure last game with the Arizona front seven.
And we lost another offensive lineman, by the way.
So I don't know what you guys are going to do against Washington.
I don't know.
I also think that Alex Smith will be subbed in at halftime. I don't think what's his name? Kyle Allen. I don't think he's going to be having a great first half, honestly. So I think
Mike Rivera just loves him.
He literally does. He literally loves Kyle Allen. Don't understand
half the Panthers team to the Washington football team.
Yeah. I think that what they'll do is they'll see, okay, we're kind of struggling with Kyle Allen. We're going to put in Alex Smith. Alex Smith will. I still think that this football team could still maybe win that division, but I don't know.
Anyone.
It's up for grabs. Yeah, I don't know, man. If they won the game last week, they go ahead of this.
It's bad though.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's such a bad division. It's embarrassing.
I also think Zeke's confidence is down after a 2-fumble game.
I think a fire was lit in the entire team this year. Did you hear the comments from Jane Slater?
Yes.
That a bunch of players came out and went out towards the coaches.
Yeah.
Most of the time when that happens, it's either players who weren't with the team anymore.
You were mad at the coaches. You were mad at the players. You said that it was...
Yeah, the players' effort is trash. And I have the videos to prove it.
Kind of agree with you because it's basically the same team as last year, just with different coaches. But at the same time, if the coaches aren't teaching you anything...
I just don't... I don't think it's Mike. Players have come out and said they love Mike McCarthy.
That's good.
So, I don't know.
But...
Enough about the Cowboys.
Washington takes that game, 24-20 in my eyes. Next one, Green Bay. They're giving them about a field goal and a half. So I don't understand. They're playing Houston. Houston has a horrible defense, and Green Bay lost last week. So Green Bay is going to want to show out, especially Aaron Rodgers, like you were saying. He may be kind of like I love Aaron Rodgers, but I know he can come off as kind of a jackass to people. But you know what? He kind of got embarrassed last week. He got embarrassed last week. But I will say this, the Buccaneers have a great defense. They have a top 5 defense, and he struggled against them. You know who doesn't have a top 5 defense? Houston. Houston has a bad defense. Houston has a horrible defense. I don't know. I can't see. Green Bay has a good defense too, so I can't see Houston even trying to take any points in this game. I think Green Bay will blow out Houston. Honestly, I don't see anything that can.
I could see it going either way. I agree probably with you because I think Green Bay is a much better team than last year. But maybe them getting exposed last week started something.
I don't know, man. I think, I genuinely think they could go 13-3 again. But if they lose games, it'll probably just be to divisional opponents, just because that's how divisional games are.
Have they beat a good team yet?
You know what? I don't think they have.
I don't think they have either. And I just don't know. I hate Green Bay because I'm biased.
All right, let's see. We got. They beat the Vikings. They beat the Lions. They beat the Saints. Are the Saints good?
No.
I don't know. They beat the Falcons, and then they lost to the Buccaneers. So I guess not really. I like Green Bay. I hate them right now because of Max.
See, Max Pitt, and then my brother's a Green Bay fan. 2014, we lost to him. 2016, we lost to him in the playoffs. I just hate Green Bay with everything.
I just like Aaron Rodgers, kind of.
Except I do think Aaron Rodgers is the GOAT.
He's so talented.
I think he's better all time than Tom Brady.
He has more talent than Tom Brady, 100%. Yeah, he's a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
But expect Green Bay to win this. 37-24 is my guess. 13. It would not surprise me if Green Bay scored in the 40s. I don't like Houston's defense at all.
Okay.
So, next one. Speaking of New Orleans, we were just talking about. They play Carolina.
No Michael Thomas.
No Michael Thomas, indeed. One of the biggest reasons I'm picking Carolina. Carolina, they're supposed to lose by a touchdown and a half. Not to win. I don't think Carolina wins.
Oh.
No. I just think that they don't lose by a touchdown.
Oh, okay.
I think that this game is relatively close. No Michael Thomas. New Orleans secondary is horrible. And yes, they have a good front line, but you know what Carolina has that New Orleans doesn't? They have a quarterback that can extend the play because he can get out of the pocket. Drew Brees can't do that. Teddy Bridgewater can. Okay, cool. They're putting pressure on him. He'll roll out. He has 3 great wide receivers he can play make with them. They can. Yeah. I genuinely love the Carolina receiving core right now. It's so good.
Oh yeah. Robbie Anderson.
Jets.
Cowboys fans, you know how good he is because of what happened last year. But it's bad.
Oh yeah, the Jets.
Yeah,
that was bad. I forgot that was a whole thing.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh God. Anyway, yeah, I think when you have a playmaking quarterback like that, you can get out of the pocket. It's really, really good thing for your team. Really bad thing for defenses, especially more bad secondaries. Drew Brees isn't mobile, and even though Carolina has a shit defense, I don't see how an immobile quarterback can lead to success, especially with no Michael Thomas.
Do you think Drew Brees, because he struggled this year, do you think he really, really picks it up when Michael Thomas comes back?
No.
Really?
I mean, like, I think his numbers pick up, but I don't think the team. I think they'll win more games, but it's not going to feel like the Saints from last year. The Saints from last year just felt like a god level team. Like,
oh my gosh,
they were so good last year. But I think that this division belongs to the Buccaneers, honestly. And you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Carolina won more games than New Orleans.
I have a bet with a buddy saying that this was made before the season, saying that the Cowboys were going to go further than the Saints. He's a Saints fan. It's $75. And so I kind of need Tampa Bay.
I don't know. I actually don't know. Like, if Drew Brees continues to play at this bad level, like, the Saints could win 7 games. I actually don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
I was going to say that was a bad trade for you, but thinking about it, like, that's weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Carolina doesn't win, but they keep it close, 24-28. It's not going to be a high-scoring game by any means, but Saints still win this game, but I don't like it. Okay, my upset. This was me and Parker talked about this, and Parker actually 100% agrees, which is good because his simulation is really, really accurate. Seattle goes to Arizona, and I don't care about the spread. Seattle is majorly favored in this game. And you know what? I'm taking Arizona.
No.
And I'm not just taking Arizona. No. I am like hammering this shit down. No. This is my lock of the week. Seattle will be upset by Arizona in a high-scoring, crazy game. 38-36. Arizona wins this game.
When will this be posted?
Tomorrow at noon.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and record this little clip of you saying "book it, Arizona," and I'm gonna post it in our fantasy chat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Arizona is going to beat Seattle. Here's why. This isn't just like, oh, this is Seattle. That secondary is real. Their front seven is non-existent, but that secondary is real. And you know what? I think there's definitely a little bit of drama within that locker room in Seattle with the whole AB situation. I think I think it can possibly get into Metcalf and Lockett's heads. Like, holy shit, do we have to ball out this week? Are we going to be replaced? Like, that's a real thing. And so I still think Russell Wilson is going to have a great game. It wouldn't surprise me if he threw 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. Like, the issue in this game is not going to be Russell Wilson. The issue in this game is going to be Seattle's defense, who ranks 31st.
They're bad.
They are the second worst defense to you guys. And you guys are. It's the Seattle, and then 50 layers of dog shit, and then it's you guys.
I'm aware.
Oh, so you guys are shit. You guys are the dog shit
it's
defense.
Bad.
Yeah, okay, cool. Just making sure you knew that.
It's probably the worst defense the NFL has ever.
You guys are on track to allow the most points in NFL history.
Yeah. Well, we have in the first however many weeks.
I don't want to make you feel depressed, so we'll just move off.
There.
Okay.
let's just keep going.
But I think Seattle's defense is so bad, and like honestly, they're not making. And I think it's bad right now. When Jamal Adams gets back, it'll probably improve a little bit, but they don't have Jamal Adams. So Kyler Murray he showed off last week. He's not just a Lamar, where he just runs. He can throw the ball. Now, he didn't do a good job last week, but he throws the ball more than Lamar does. He was 9 for 24 last week. I'm aware he missed some really big throws. I'm aware, but he still throws the ball. He had 250 yards last week or something like that. Lamar's averaging 150. I don't want to hear that Kyler is Lamar. I also think that this is the week where the Cardinals step it up. They take it up to 100. This is a if they win this week, that puts them ahead of the Rams. Oh, no, it doesn't because the Rams have fewer losses. But
do you think Kenyon Drake goes off again?
With the Seattle defense, I do. I'm not saying 150 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. I'm saying 3 receptions, 50 yards, and maybe 95 yards on the ground.
He needs 100 yards. To play the worst 2 defenses in the past 2 weeks and not... I mean, he had a 75-yard touchdown run against Dallas, but without that, what did he do?
I think he will rush for 100 because I know Chase Edmonds came up limping in the middle of the game last week, so that wouldn't surprise me. But, yeah, I think that defense is just so bad. I think Arizona's going to have the ball last. I think they're going to drive and either kick a field goal or score a touchdown and win it. That would not surprise me. Another reason is this is a divisional game. If these two weren't in the same division, I probably wouldn't lean towards Arizona, but this is a divisional game. We saw the Raiders beat the Chiefs.
Anything can happen.
Literally anything can happen. It would not surprise me if the Bengals beat the Ravens or something like that. It just happens. That's what happens. The Dolphins always beat the Patriots once a year. It's just something that always happens. divisional games. And here's the thing: undefeated teams are going to drop a game eventually. That's one thing we forget. We think that these undefeated teams are like unbeatable, but they always lose a game eventually. I don't think any team will go undefeated this year. That's not a hot take.
Yeah.
Book that. I don't care. Clip that. I don't really care. It's not a hot take.
Yeah, it's not.
So yeah, Arizona 38 points on Seattle. Seattle still puts up 36, but I don't know.
Not crazy, but it won't happen.
Yeah,
It might happen.
I think you cooled down a little bit off of it because you seemed really upset when I first brought that up.
I just don't see it happening. But then I had flashbacks of the Cowboys game, and Cowboys can give any team in the league confidence that they didn't know they had.
Who wins a Cowboys-Jets game? Like, I know the Jets are bad.
Dallas wins that game. Come on now.
No, the only reason I'm curious about that is, like, the Jets have an okay defense.
Yeah.
Their offense is the problem. Well, the organization's the problem. But, like, the Giants put up, like, what, 28 points against you guys' defense? That's kind of actually interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm curious
No,
about
they
that.
put up over 30. I think we've allowed over 30 points in every game except week 1 against the Rams. I don't know. It's bad.
I'm so sorry, dude.
It is what it is. Honestly, the Cowboys beat the Jets. Come on now.
Yeah.
Have some respect.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Yeah.
It'll
be a close game.
Gosh.
Yeah, 7-3, 7-6.
Yeah.
Yeah, good game.
Hey, this is red. Does it mean my mic is muted?
No, it just means you're just recording.
Okay.
Yeah, I muted the entire time. Well, thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
it.
Yeah, of course, dude.
I love this stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, expect to see Nick on a lot more, especially as the NFL season heats up. Like, I'd love to have you on as much as I can.
I live quite a ways away, but I will make the trip.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we
Every
planned
week.
this out a couple weeks ago, so this is something that we've been wanting to do. It's something we've been talking about doing for probably about a year and a half.
I
at
hit
this
you
point.
up. I remember through DMs. I was like, "Hey, how do I?"
No,
do
2
that?
years because I made that fun graphic making fun
The
of.
801?
Yeah. No, the one before that where I made fun of Skip and Shannon, where I made the little one of you and
Oh,
me. Yeah. So
yeah.
we've been talking about this for a while, so
A
it's really
long
nice to
time.
be able to get you on.
I'm glad you got it done because I couldn't do this.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, gives us an opportunity to just talk sports for a couple hours, shoot the shit.
And then if people care, they can listen.
Exactly.
Plus,
so,
I like going back and watching these too. So.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know, we are on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so you guys can check us out there if you don't want to listen. If you just want to listen to the audio version, but with the video version that is on YouTube, we do put little descriptions in our in the timeline, so you can break it up. So if you want to go back and watch our talk about the Cowboys, you want to fast forward to watch the Wild Winners, you guys can do that. So you don't have to sit through the entire thing. I know that can kind of be time consuming, but thanks again to Nick for coming on the show. I'd love to have you on another time, and I'll see you guys in another episode.